This is a beautiful story I heard from a Scottish storyteller actually a couple of years ago on a festival on Cape Clear Island, down off the bottom of Ireland. What's a great typical Scottish name?
Baxter.
Hamish.
Baxter. Hamish Baxter. Okay, we'll go with it. So, a lot of you guys probably know Hamish Baxter. He lives just over, you know that hill. Do you know the hill near where you live? Where there's the hill? Yeah, you guys have seen that, haven't you? And you know, there was Hamish used to live up the top of that hill. You probably walked past him on the street, even if you never actually met him. He was an amazing guy, I heard. And one day, when Hamish was having his 95th birthday, somebody decided to visit him that had never visited him yet. Death. Death said, I don't want to scare you, Hamish, but I'm going to call around for a dram. And I want to have a talk to you. He left a voicemail saying this. I'm going to call around for a dram, and I just want to have a wee chat. So, that day, Hamish was laying out the sandwiches, he was getting the Pringles, he was getting all the Lucozade, the 7-Up, getting everything ready for all the party. He had his Christmas tree in his pocket, he just it was there, put it back in again. He was getting ready. A lot of his friends were coming round. You know, 95, it's a big birthday, right? It's amazing to get to 95, and he was still spry as a fiddle. And everybody was going to be arriving soon, and there was the first knock on the door, and Hamish said, oh, I wonder who it is. Is it James? Or I wonder if it's Jim with his Christmas tree. I wonder if it's Mary. But he opened the door, and there was Death with the hood. How are you? And maybe I won't do the accent all the way through because I might hurt my throat actually. But James said, oh, it's yourself. Well, come in. Sit down. Do you want a whiskey? Here's a whiskey. Would you like a sandwich? Here's a sandwich. And Death was, he drank the whiskey, but it was just pouring down through his face. And Hamish was going, oh, don't mind that at all. Here, I've got a sponge. Let me wipe that up. And Death was trying to get a word in, but Hamish kept on talking. And Death was going, Hamish, I just want to, did you see the X Factor? Did you see who won the X Factor last week? Wasn't it amazing? And all the time, Death was trying to get the word in, and then the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Hello, come in. And the people started to arrive, just like these people here, with their great gold chains. And they came in, and he said, let me get you a sandwich, and let me get you a drink, and more people were arriving. And the whole time, Death was trying to get a word in. Hamish, I just need to... And he goes, oh yeah, I know, you're grand, you're very welcome. Can I get you another drink? And pretty soon, the house was full of people. And Death was getting very, very impatient. Very, very antsy. So he went and he grabbed Hamish away from his friend and he said, Hamish, I've got to talk to you. And Hamish said, you can't come to one of my parties without dancing with Mary. She's an amazing tango dancer. Why don't you go and have a tango with Mary? So Death did. And he went and he had the tango. And then he tried to talk to Hamish again, and Hamish said, you can't come to one of my parties without tasting one of my mother's sandwiches. His mother was 133, she was still alive. Gave her one of the sandwiches. They were as good as the day that she made them in 1952. Tasted the sandwich. And Death said, this is great, Hamish, but I just want to... And Hamish said, you can't come to one of my parties without singing a song. So then Death sang a song. And then, do you know what happened? The clock struck midnight, and Death had to go. And the next year he came back and it was the same thing, and Hamish said, oh, you've got to dance with Janice. Have you never danced with Janice? Oh, you've got to try some of this. And then the clock struck midnight and Death had to go. So on Hamish's 97th birthday, the doorbell rang. Oh, it's yourself. Come in. And there was Death. Hamish, I really need to talk to you this time. And he said, okay, I'll get you a drink. And the people were just about to start to arrive. And Hamish sat down and he took his drink and he looked at Death and he said, the last 2 years, haven't we danced and haven't we sang a lot and haven't we feasted with our friends a lot? And Death said, we have. And Hamish said, I think I'm ready to go. And he raised his glass, struck a toast, drank it down, and he took Death's hand, and they went. And that's a true story about Hamish from just up the hill over near where you guys live. Yeah, thank you.